Why are Norwegians living so long, and what can the rest of us learn from them? It's not uncommon to hear stories of people in Norway living well into their 90s, still active, still independent, and still sharp. While genetics play a role in any population's longevity, scientists and public health experts believe that the Norwegian lifestyle, how people eat, move, rest, and connect, may be just as important, if not more. In this video, we're exploring the Norwegian approach to aging well, and how small shifts in lifestyle, inspired by this Nordic model, may help support senior wellness, healthy aging, and cognitive vitality well into the later years of life. Whether you're focused on your own aging or supporting someone you love through life after 60, this is a story worth paying attention to. And if you're new to Senior Health Haven, welcome. This is your trusted space for senior wellness, smart lifestyle strategies, and grounded advice for healthy aging and long-term vitality. If that sounds helpful, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button so more people can discover this content. Let's get started. 1. A culture that prioritizes balance over excess. One of the most notable differences in the Norwegian lifestyle is a cultural mindset centered around balance, not hustle. There's even a term for it, friluftsliv, loosely translated as open-air living. It's the Norwegian idea that being in nature, moving your body outdoors, and living with seasonal rhythms isn't a luxury, it's a way of life. This cultural value system shows up in daily choices. Norwegians tend to walk or bike to local shops. They make time for slow meals and simple family rituals. Even in colder months, they dress for the weather and go outside anyway, not for sport, but for peace and routine. For older adults, this kind of lifestyle supports better circulation, reduced stress, and a stronger immune system, all foundational for aging well. It also builds mental resilience by keeping people engaged with their environment, regardless of age. And perhaps most importantly, this mindset reduces the chronic stress that many health experts now associate with inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and memory loss. 2. An active lifestyle, without the gym. When you look at countries with high life expectancy, physical activity is a common thread, but in Norway, it rarely comes from gyms or high-intensity workouts. Instead, movement is woven into daily life. Walking is still the most common form of transportation in many parts of the country, even among older adults. Seniors routinely walk to local cafes, markets, or simply to enjoy time outdoors. In winter, many participate in cross-country skiing, not competitively, but socially. The key here is functional movement, consistent, low-impact activity that supports balance, strength, and joint health without overexertion. Research shows that regular walking, especially outdoors, can improve blood flow to the brain, support memory retention, and reduce risk of dementia. And when that movement happens in nature, like it often does in Norway, the benefits may be even greater. For those looking to age well, it's not about intense workouts, it's about finding sustainable, enjoyable movement that fits into everyday life. That might mean a morning walk, gardening, stretching, or any routine that encourages gentle motion without strain. 3. A diet rooted in whole, seasonal foods. Norwegians tend to eat what's in season, what's local, and what's been part of their cultural diet for generations. This naturally reduces the consumption of processed foods, added sugars, and refined ingredients. The traditional Norwegian diet includes fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, rich in omega-3s for heart and brain health, root vegetables like carrots, turnips, and potatoes, nutrient-dense and fiber-rich, whole grains such as rye bread and oats, berries, especially lingonberries and bilberries, loaded with antioxidants, fermented foods like kefir and cultured butter, supportive for gut and immune health. Norwegians also have a tradition for eating seasonal meats, such as fårikål, lamb and cabbage, or back in the day, smalahove, sheep's head. Portion sizes tend to be moderate, and meals are often home-cooked. Snacking between meals is less common than in Western cultures, and sugary treats are typically reserved for weekends or special occasions, not daily habits. This way of eating naturally supports healthy weight, stable blood sugar, and lower inflammation, all critical components for maintaining cognitive and cardiovascular health later in life. 4. Strong social safety nets that support the elderly. It's impossible to talk about Norwegian longevity without mentioning the country's healthcare system and social support infrastructure. Norway invests heavily in preventive care, elder care, and universal access to medical services. This means seniors are more likely to receive timely diagnoses, medications, mobility aids, and home support, without the financial strain that can lead to neglect or delayed treatment. Beyond healthcare, there are cultural values that prioritize respect for the elderly and intergenerational connection. It's common for older adults to live close to, or regularly interact with, family members and community. This kind of support plays a major role in emotional well-being. Research shows that older adults who feel socially connected have lower levels of depression, better memory retention, and longer life expectancy. Even for those living alone, Norway offers community centers, senior programs, and accessible transportation to ensure that aging doesn't mean isolation. While not all of us live in countries with these systems in place, we can still learn from the principle. Staying connected, cared for, and engaged in a larger community supports both mental and physical health. 5. Time outdoors, even in the cold. It may surprise people that a country known for long, dark winters ranks so high in terms of vitality. But that's part of the secret. Norwegians don't avoid winter, they embrace it. They dress warmly and continue their outdoor routines. Time in nature isn't limited to sunny days, it's year-round. This regular exposure to fresh air and daylight, even if it's dim, supports circadian rhythm, immune health, and mood regulation. Vitamin D intake is also taken seriously. While sun exposure is limited in the winter, Norwegians compensate with supplementation and vitamin D-rich foods like cod liver oil, a traditional staple in many households. This mindset of adapting to nature instead of resisting it builds resilience, both physical and psychological. And it's an important lesson for aging. Staying active, connected, and mentally flexible, even when the environment changes, may be one of the most powerful ways to stay well. 6. Low stress, high life satisfaction. While no culture is free from stress, studies consistently show that Norwegians report higher life satisfaction and lower chronic stress compared to many other developed countries. Part of this comes from the strong social and healthcare systems. But it's also cultural. There's less emphasis on material success and more value placed on time, nature, and family. Work-life balance is a national priority. Many people work fewer hours per week than in North America, and long vacations are standard. This isn't just about relaxation, it's about nervous system regulation. Chronic stress is a known contributor to inflammation, memory loss, cardiovascular disease, and even impaired immune function. By contrast, environments that support rest, security, and a sense of purpose are protective at any age, and especially after 60. Even small lifestyle changes, such as creating structured downtime, spending more time outdoors, or building calming routines, can echo the Norwegian model in powerful ways. 7. Purpose and practicality into old age. Many Norwegians remain engaged and independent into their 80s and even 90s. This isn't due to extreme fitness or special diets alone, it's because they continue to live with purpose. Older adults often take part in volunteering, mentoring, outdoor clubs, or simple routines that give their days structure. They aren't seen as burdens, they're seen as contributors. This sense of being needed is deeply protective. Studies have shown that older adults with a strong sense of purpose are less likely to develop dementia, more likely to recover from illness, and more motivated to maintain physical health. Practical independence is also prioritized. Homes are designed to be aging-friendly. Tools like walking poles, ergonomic chairs, and daily use aids are normalized, not stigmatized. This reduces fall risk, increases mobility, and supports longer autonomy. Purpose, routine, and a culture that values older adults not only improves emotional health, it may directly influence lifespan. What can we learn from the Norwegian lifestyle? You don't need to move to Scandinavia to benefit from these principles. The Norwegian model offers clear, simple takeaways that can be adapted anywhere. Build movement into your day, even if it's just walking. Eat whole, seasonal foods and keep meals simple. Prioritize rest, daylight, and sleep hygiene. Stay connected, socially, emotionally, and intergenerationally. Focus on purpose, not just productivity. Treat aging as a phase of life, not a decline. None of these habits require perfection. They're not flashy or extreme. They're sustainable, rooted in tradition, and supported by science. And they may be one of the clearest roadmaps we have for healthy aging, senior wellness, and a longer, more fulfilling life. So, why are Norwegians living to 98? It's not one thing. It's a combination of culture, community, nutrition, and mindset. A way of life that values slowness over speed, quality over quantity, and purpose over pressure. And while we can't all replicate the exact setting, we can borrow its values. We can start today by choosing habits that build energy, clarity, and calm, for ourselves or for those we love. If this video gave you something to think about, give it a like, and subscribe to Senior Health Haven for more weekly videos on the science, habits, and senior wisdom that help us live well, at any age.